Okay, this is day 66 of making little videos to describe a day or thought in the life of Dominic the schizophrenic and to express sane thoughts in the world, turned things around on me and said that I was crazy and told people I was diseased rather than that I was experiencing a political warfare. And in day 17, I discussed why I choose to call myself schizophrenic rather than targeted individual. And day 45, I discuss of why I make these videos in the first place, and those videos can be found on my pinned threads post in the comment section and in my pins Facebook post in the comment section, and also in that comment section and on the bio of the threads is my book on medium.com, Unveiling the Schizophrenic Tradition. It is in chapter form, and as I finish the chapters, I submit it there. And maybe I'll get it published one day. I haven't really been working on the book for a while, but it's mostly done. And so, okay, so I'm going to start here, and I was going to talk about Hillary Clinton and the fact that she probably would have made a better president than Donald Trump, and I regret not voting for her. And I it was kind of her fault why I didn't vote for her because she was a warmonger, and I couldn't submit my vote for warmongering. But in the scheme of things, she would have possibly murdered people in Syria through a war, but it probably would be a lesser evil than the evil we're headed towards with Donald Trump. And so, yeah, I was thinking about that, and at least when Hillary was around, people valued college education, people valued diplomacy, people valued intelligence, and would have been a woman in there, and that would have been better than this guy. So, unfortunately, she did not win, and we are headed down a crazier path than we probably would have been. But there were problems with Hillary, so I can't fault myself for not doing it, but I regret not doing it. Okay, so in reading in my book about the rise of Wolf 8, it discusses park rangers and the Clintons meeting up with park rangers, and they helped bring about this program to help bring wolves back to Yellowstone. And I was thinking about the budget cuts to the parks and stuff, and like we're losing park rangers, and we're who knows what's going to happen to the national park system in this country and what their plans are for it. It's a travesty what's possible here, and it's kind of scary, but yeah, it's very concerning. And in reading my book, I was struck by something else. I'm going a little bit different topic here, and that is like the way with which humans talk about culling herds of elk or managing animals or whatever. And it makes you wonder if there are not people who cross over into the human domain with you see with Trump with eugenics and stuff, or just like eugenics in general. Like when they talk about culling elk and stuff with wolves or whatever. Is that how people look at wars? Is that how they look at bio war? Is that how they look at World War III? And I'm going to get into something a little bit in here about the ruling class and their ability to wage war on the masses. And so, yeah, I don't know. It just makes me wonder, like, the ease with which we talk about culling animals and the death of animals. Do people also think about that about humans? Like, is that a way to minimize life. And so, yeah. Okay. Uh, all right. I was going to talk about the Disney and Target protests and the idea of general strike. And I was thinking, like, these protests I've actually posted something on my Facebook and my threads in written form. My thought process on I'm kind of conflicted on the Target protest. The reason why I'm conflicted is because I'm not like that into Target. It's not a big deal to me if I lose Target. As far as like DEI and Disney, I don't think as I said before, I'm basically in a Disney cult, and I don't really want to protest Disney or damage Disney economically because I think it like when you have something where like you're promoting Avatar, you're promoting Star Wars, you're promoting Marvel, you did Fern Gully, you promote that type of material out into the general sphere of the population. I feel like you're a positive influence on mass media culture as a mass media corporation compared to some other ones. And that's not to say it's 100% like the good or whatever, but I feel like it's a positive influence on society, and I don't think me damaging them economically is going to be good for society. So, you know, they have a policy where they're going away from DEI. Personally, I prefer them to have the DEI, and the fact that they even had it to begin with puts them above a lot of other corporations. I just feel like there's a little bit misplaced uh, energy to go after Target and Disney when they're a little bit better than some other corporations. And, like, maybe we should focus on boycotting the Trump donors. But then you're getting into this, then I start thinking, like, you're getting into this boycott war where people don't shop at each other's businesses and stuff because of their political beliefs. And I don't necessarily know that I'm for that. Uh, yeah, I'm a little conflicted on that. But then you see the right does it, and they said they get what they want out of it. So it's like, I can't fault people for wanting to use that tactic. And in my case, where I live in Santa Clarita, it's basically all corporations control the economic sphere and shopping business parks. There's not a lot of small businesses out here that you could shop at. Like if you're not going to Home Depot, you're not going to Lowe's, you're not going to Hobby. There's not a lot of stores out here to shop at other than the mass corporations and the Trump corporations and stuff. So then you would be shopping online. So then now you've just applied a shipping tax onto everything you do, and you damaged the general local community that you live in. And I don't know if that is something I want to do. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a tough thing because, and this is probably true of a lot of places because corporations basically took over the sphere, the economic sphere in towns and stuff, and they ran everyone out of business. And now we're gonna try to boycott the corporations, and then I guess we'll shop online at all these other small businesses online, and then you're having this massive tax put on you. if you shop, so this gets into the consumer culture and stuff. And this is going to get into something I'm going to talk about here. And Derek Jensen's book, he talks about like how society is civilization. Our civilization is all based on coercion. Like we're constantly trying to coerce each other into our own wills. And that's basically democracy, isn't it? It's coercion into you follow our will. So, and then the democratic program we have, the founding fathers tried to create a situation where the rich minority had power over the masses of society, and that as we try to democratize our system, it's now the majority has the power to coerce the minority, and it's just this like humans trying to coerce each other. And I guess there's no way getting around. I start thinking of like maybe there's no way getting around it. When you have as messy a thing as humanity is, there has to be some sort of coercion to do the greater good for people, and or the will of somebody is going to win out over the will of somebody else. And I don't know if there's any way around it. And so yeah, I know as I started thinking about that with the boycotts, and the right wing boycotted Target. Now the left wing wants to boycott Target, and I don't particularly care about Target that much. Like I said before, like I'm more into Disney than I am into Target, but I'm not into all these Trump corporations. But that's all that exists around me. And so if I run them out of business, I mean, I don't think anything, I'm not going to run them out of business anyways around here. So I'd just basically be putting a tax on myself and shopping on small businesses online, which I guess benefits those businesses, but they're not in the local area. They're all over the place. And I'm not really helping the local community do it when I do that. So I don't know. It's kind of a mess. General strike. That's why I think maybe a general strike would be better, but I don't even work. And I guess I could stop shopping altogether and just shop at the store, Trader Joe's, buy books, which is what I do for the most part, anyways. So I guess I could tell everyone, do what I do. But I buy t-shirts on Amazon sometimes. I don't know. This is kind of a weird one, but anyways, I was thinking about coercion and how we're trying to coerce people into our will all the time as human beings, and yeah, and you just look at the diplomacy yesterday with Trump and Zelensky, and then about Vladimir Putin trying to coerce Ukraine, and it's kind of a mess. In David A. Hughes' book, he discusses that the tippy top percentage of the population, like the 1 to 1.1%, are trying to wage a war on the bottom half of humanity, and he's wondering how could they possibly accomplish this. And he says they accomplish this by doing it through a revolutionary in a revolution in a revolution in warfare, that they are engaging in a covert revolutionary warfare on the masses for the purposes of bringing in the technocracy. And that's the only way they could accomplish their World War III, because if they came right out in the open and they started attacking people out in the open, it would create a backlash revolution among the populace. And Trump is kind of being a dummy in that sense, in that he's kind of openly attacking with the way Elon Musk is, but he's masquerading as a populist going after the federal government, like the feds are the problem here. And yeah, so I guess covert war is the way the tippy top is going to go after the masses, and I definitely experienced that myself. So all right, that's what I was reading today. Thank you for listening to me. Sorry for rambling on today, but thank you very much.